know. Sometimes this thing just confuses me when I go live and it does not do exactly what I think it's supposed to do because maybe I'm just not super tech savvy. I don't know. But anyway, it does not matter. Um, I'm not going to allow myself to be distracted a whole heck of a lot. I am going to check on the other side here to make sure if we are live on this side. It says that it ended. I'm going to not end the broadcast. So we
Okay.
just going. I'm going to drop the YouTube link for the broadcast into the chat on the other side so
Okay.
that folks that are tapping in from the social media side on Facebook can just click the YouTube link and then they can jump on the conversation. So I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna do that as super fast as I can and then we're gonna hop into our conversation.
All
Amen.
right. Take your time. No rush for me. Amen. Ashe.
She said no rush. I'm so done with you. It's like it's me. I'll be all nervous, like, oh my God, what's happening? What's really going on? Why isn't this working right?
You a black woman doing a lot of things, making a lot of things happening. That's what that is.
You
Living.
think that's what's going
Hmm. I see you.
on? Amen. 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 I
Hmm.
appreciate you and I appreciate that.
Likewise. Absolutely.
Okay, so you are here and what are you doing? Share. And I'm going to share, copy the link, go over to Facebook. That's what you're going to do. You're going to share it on Facebook, and then it's going to make sense or not. Wonderfulness. Put it right up in there. Yes. Girl, I don't know why none of this seems to be wanting to do what I wanted to do right now.
We flowing. This is the ebb and flow. This is the ebb and flow. Listen, I'm telling you, I just am sitting down for the first time. So take your time. Take the easy. Remember the grace, sis. The grace.
Good grief, right? It has been
Hmm.
a day, too. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's been a day. Not a bad day, but it's been a Monday.
I hear you.
Yeah,
That's all
we'll just leave it at that. It's been a Monday. Um, so what I did was I just went ahead and shared the YouTube link, and I'm going to tag you in what I just shared. That way, um, anybody that is on your side, they can just tap onto that, and then I'll shoot it to you in a text message too. For
right. Okay.
whatever reason, like I said, it didn't. It's not like coming up or showing up or something. And I'm gonna have to do some investigating on that to find out why
Okay.
it's been doing that. Because you can't pay for something and then it be acting like this.
Right. Right.
Alicia, bam, bam, save. We did that. Okay. All right. So that being said, I have done my job. So
So
we'll
I'm
reshare the page.
I'm looking at, let me see here.
What you looking at,
Um,
sis?
I was gonna say it did show you were live. Oh, let me see.
And then it flicked off.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's the second time it's done that, and I think that I went live and then I shared. I did something with the brand, and I don't know. Whatever it did, it vexed my soul. Ain't nobody got time to even fool with this madness. But I don't want to start the broadcast all over again because it would be so confusing. I've done that before too. We ain't doing that either. Okay. All right. So we are just gonna dive into conversation though, and
Okay.
and then go from there. I sent the text. I sent it I sent it to the Eagles and the Queens in a text message.
Mhm. Yes, yes, I saw that.
And so what they'll have to do is they just have to share it for us. So y'all, whenever it is that y'all are able to see this, just know that um, we are broadcasting live, and we're broadcasting live from Facebook and from YouTube. But you might want to use the YouTube link and share the YouTube link because for some reason Facebook is just being funny. All right, Tia said we in the building. So Tia, great. If
Yay.
you could help me, Tia, by circulating the YouTube link, um, with Be Love Holistic and everybody, because everyone that logged in to follow and watch the conversation, Facebook is being funny, and so I want to give my undivided attention to my sister right now, and I don't want to be distracted like I have been in the past. So there, I'm done. Been there, done that. All right. So, my sister, how you doing this evening?
Oh, thank you. I am doing well. I'm deeply well. I'll say that. I'll say that. I'm settling in to my seat in transparency. Yes, I just got home not too long ago. So it's been a productive day. It's been active. It's been fruitful also. Unexpected news, unexpected, connections, unexpected flowers, unexpected guests. So I just been in the zone of just, expecting the unexpected. And today, the unexpected has shown up in many ways. And so we here and I'm well.
Ah,
Thank you. How
oh
are
my
you?
goodness.
After all the facilitation and delegation and setup and production, and now you about to be on as well.
Okay, how am I? Oh, well, so first, who am I? Hi, y'all. My name is Tony McNeil, and I am the founder and the host of Anti Black Conversations. So let me start off there.
I probably should
Uh,
introduce myself too, huh?
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
you introduce yourself because see, I'm so used to flowing with these queens to where we don't even start, with introductions. We just start in the middle of a sentence. That's what
Okay.
happens when sisterhood is present. You just start in the middle of a sentence. Where we left
Mm,
off, that's where we start.
that's it. We're here in it. Yes.
Yes, my name is Tony McNeil. I am the founder of Anti Black Conversation. It's a platform that was created, when the pandemic hit in like 2019. And so I just felt led to create a space for us to really lean into some of the issues of anti Blackness. And I needed us as Black people to be able to talk about the fact that we struggle with anti Blackness as Black people, right?
Hmm.
Who'd have thought
Hmm.
it? Um,
Right.
so, we have conversations. The anti-blackness shows up in all. We could talk about anti-blackness in our diet, in our eating habits, anti-blackness, health, anti-blackness in the church, anti-blackness, and when it comes to mental health, mental wellness, trauma, and how
Hmm.
we approach trauma. So there's so many ways and so many conversations for us to have. There's no way to exhaust it. But this series of conversations that I've been having has been really special to me.
Hmm.
And so I have been holding space to have conversations with Black women. And the more conversations that are had, and the more space that I create to have these conversations, the more I'm beginning to see and understand why Holy Spirit led me on this journey of learning, understanding, healing, revelation, and belonging, sisterhood, being embraced. Because, yeah,
Hmm.
it's they that song they say it's hard out here for a pimp. Well, it's
Yep.
hard out
I do.
for a sister.
It
Hmm.
is.
It
It's
is hard
real
out
out
here.
here. Hmm.
So yeah. Now I'm gonna introduce myself. This is my sister. So, sis, introduce yourself. Who are you? Where you hail from?
Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me. First off, and I appreciate the introduction. Anytime a leader leads and quotes something having to do with a pimp, I just feel at home. I don't know what that's about for me, if it's California, if it's conditioning or what. However, I had one of my colleagues who's a dean quote me sugar free at 8 a.m. in the morning a few months ago. And I was like, okay, all right, we're here. Um, my name is Alicia Crockett, and I am the daughter of Willie Crockett, Judy Crockett, the granddaughter of Octavia Crockett Beatty, um, Rose Ann Henderson, Avery Lloyd, Dwayne Henderson. I'm the mother of three beautiful humans.
Mm,
I'm a
mm,
sister to two living brothers, a cousin to many, many, many. I am my father's only daughter, and he was the oldest of 12. So if you can
mhm.
imagine the family lineage. And my brother and I think we might be the first generation born outside of Mississippi from my father's side, and my mother's side is from
Oh,
Georgia.
wow.
So I'm just a little Cali girl, grown up like I was in the country, raised like I've been in the sticks all my life, playing in creeks and outside with my cousins and my brothers. Um, I'm an open, free, loving spirit, I would say. I'm not for play by any means of the imagination. And I like to play a lot. And I'm a lover, a giver, a dancer
Mhm.
in my heart. I work in education. I'm a counselor. Currently, I sit as a counseling assistant in community college. I'm also a graduate student of San Diego State University for a Master's of Arts in Educational Counseling. That's been my most recent, I would say, accomplishment and achievement, just on who I am and what I do.
Mhm.
However, I'm affectionately known too by some, maybe more than I think, as a hood whisperer, just from the way that I show up in the street, loving on people,
Yes, she
living
is.
myself, you know, and just living life in color, real time. That's who I am, I'll say right now, today. If you ask me today, June 5th, at whatever time it is here, this is who I am right now. And I'm honored to be here with you, Tony. It's a pleasure. I've never done this before. This is my first. So I'm a first to
This
a
is a
live
first.
YouTube conversation and Zoom conversation. Yes.
All right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
look, it won't be the last. It won't be the last. And so,
Ashe.
um, and you are like the so this is you're here. I think that if I am able to sneak Tia in before we have our actual in-person conversation, that's gonna be like fire. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
So
It is.
Tia, you notice, honey, I'm trying to get you in sometime before the 17th when we go live. But yes, I like that. And I wanna hang here for a minute. Hood whisperer. Say more.
Yeah.
Say more.
I think to say more would be, I would say it's fairly new to me. The name, the
Mhm,
titling, right?
mhm,
The the offering of that name, that
mhm,
reference. However, it's just, I think it's just what I do. As a
mhm,
lover, as a people appreciator and a
mhm,
life cultivator, I find myself having conversations with humans, being
mhm,
human. And
mhm.
I don't know if it's whispering, but I'm not really loud all the time. I can be. And so I'm being real technical with that term. But I think I kind of relate myself here in that it's just an offering, like the wind, right? Either you can feel it like a cool breeze, or you can go get your jacket and try to, hold yourself and guard yourself from it. Either way
Mhm.
it goes, the breeze is the breeze, right? And so for me, I'm learning in my life and in my journey as a human and a being and a spiritual, experience, just breathing, one breath at a time, that oftentimes that's what we need. Humans just want to be heard. And humans want to heal. And to heal, sometimes we just need to be heard. And oftentimes we don't know that we just want to hear ourselves. And so
Mm.
the word hood whisperer is an offering that sounds like it's something I'm giving out. But oftentimes I'm just there for folks to hear themselves.
When you say that, and so there was this movie that I watched a while back called don't know why I can't. There was a movie that I watched a while back, and it's called Horse Whisperer.
Mm-hmm.
He had a gift to settle and quiet the spirit of wild horses.
The Mustangs.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to literally just settle their spirits. And so, and I'm saying that because when you say hood whisperer, sis, I need you to know, I don't know, I ain't fooling nobody, but some folks might not know, but I am kind of hood, right?
Hmm.
Just
Just a little bit.
just a little bit.
I got
Um,
a.
what was you gonna say?
I said I got a sprinkle too.
Just a little bit.
A little
Um,
bit.
And I'm sorry, I am distracted. Tia, here's what I need you to do. Because Tia is having all kind of conversation, but I'm not able to tap in and hear what your conversation is because you are using Facebook. So I'm going to drop in the chat that you are in, Tia, the link to YouTube. Can you go ahead and just click that link and come on the YouTube side so that I can hear and see in real time what it is that you are saying? Because Facebook is tripping and acting kind of funny right now, and I'm about to, you know, and I don't want to be distracted. So, Tia, leave Facebook, come on YouTube, and join the conversation from that side. All right.
All right. All right.
So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little hood. I grew up in the hood, all of that. My one of my friends, Letitia, she said I got thug passion. And when she said it, I was offended. I'll never forget. I was so mad at her. I was like, "What? How you gonna say?" Woo, 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 woo? But at the end of the day, I do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a way. You have this gift and this ability to speak to us, and it's in code. It seems like it's not, there's just a language that you use, and I get it.
Hmm.
I get it. Ain't nobody got to translate it for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, sis? Like,
I do. I do. Yeah.
ain't nobody gonna come in and say, oh no, what she meant was, because, and you could say it to me, and I can hear it one way, and LaDonna Lee can hear it another way, and Tia could hear it another way, and it just sets and lands for all of us. We good. We got it.
Mm-hmm. It's the energy, the vibe, in my opinion, a vibration. Some may say
Yes.
frequency. Yeah.
Speaks a soul. She speaks a soul. Like, yes, it took LaDonna Lee to say.
Oh, LD in the place. LL. Yes. Thank you, Madonna. You know
Okay.
what I've learned, if I can jump in right there, is that what I'm learning here is I'm learning my voice. And I'm learning
Mm-hmm.
my voice from a place of being quenched for so long. And so I've always had this interest and this intrigue to listen and to hear people's stories, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and so now being in a place where I am hearing myself fluidly tell my own story as a bystander of others, and oftentimes a co-conspirator, a
Mm-hmm.
supporter, or whatever. And so I'm just learning what it sounds like, the octaves, the vibrations, and the tonality. You know what I mean? Of just being. And I know sometimes I do speak in poetry, if you will, some tell me, but at the same time, I think it's some directness if you're willing to
Mhm.
see and hear yourself and what's being said, because we're
Mhm.
all mirroring each other,
Mhm.
no question about it, in some way or another, in my opinion. That's my opinion, my humble opinion.
So we're gonna dive in. We just gonna dive in. I'm gonna ask you. Let's start from you as grown up, right? We ain't even gonna. So why is it important for a black woman to speak?
It is essential for Black women to speak because the expectation is that we're not going to, or we're not allowed to, or even the structure is set up as so that we're not to be heard even when we are speaking. And so I think it's important for us to speak, Black women to speak, not only to be heard outside of self, but also to hear herself in every capacity.
Hmm.
But until we're willing to be honest and to be brave, to be vulnerable, um, to be heard, to be seen, let alone to listen and hear ourselves and see ourselves, I think that's why it's important. Systemically, structurally, you know, we've been bred to just produce life and nothing else, right? But there's so much in the life that we produce, um, in every way that I imagine, and I'm just one human, one soul
Hmm.
out here,
Hmm.
living in the ether. So I think it's important for many reasons, but I think of the core of the woman, outside of the message that she has to share, but the core of who she
Hmm.
is reliant on what she says and how she says it and where she says it and when she says it for her, by her. Because
Hmm.
oftentimes, for myself, speaking for myself, I've been told who I am, right?
Mm.
Somebody been
Mm.
telling me who I am and who I should be or who I ought to be or who I was or who I'm not, where I am, where I could be, where I could have been, all the things of who I am or aren't, but yet
Hmm.
where am I in that conversation? And so I have been socialized to just listen to
Right.
people, and take it in, absorb it, consider it,
Hmm.
analyze it, play with it, you know?
Hmm.
Don't personalize it though, but still take heed. Be mindful. And this is all good, wise offerings at times. At the same time, my voice is vital and essential because it's mine. It's mine. And oftentimes that's it.
When
That's enough.
when when we're I'm going to keep referencing that we are going to have an in-person anti-black conversation that is around this theme when a black woman speaks, because we're going to celebrate our voice.
Absolutely.
We're
As
going
we
to
should.
celebrate our voice. Right.
Mm-hmm.
um we've had all of these different things, hashtag me too, and different movements, where women are speaking out. However, I'm finding that as I have been leaning into honoring the black woman's voice, honoring when she speaks, and I'm feeling a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
especially because I'm coming from Africa. And
Come on.
so when my
Yes.
stuff, like, so a black woman, I just want to pick that apart with you. So the first thing I want you to tell me is, sis, we're looking at when a black woman speaks. What is the significance in this title? What's the significance in when?
I would say the significance in when is when I heard myself for the first time. When she hears herself for the first time beyond the noise, with the noise, in the quiet. I think that's when. because it's there. For me, I was open and softened, if you will, to receive my own voice, my own wisdom, my own love, my own like nurturing, my own mothering, my own like hugs. You know what I'm saying? Like my own like words of affirmation, because as long as I'm putting out, pouring into others outside of myself and doing it well, right? You and if I can just say that, when she'll know when, because she's gonna be at a place where it's just gonna be innate, and sometimes things drive us to that win sooner or later. But I think win is the significance to win is like when she's ready. I thought I
And
was ready a long time ago.
wow. Because as you're saying that, what's coming to mind for me is that, and I believe that God is just divine in everything. And so when a black woman speaks, he didn't give me if a black woman speaks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he said when.
Mm-hmm.
And that's significant. That is important because what that lets me know is that there is coming a time when you will hear your voice.
Absolutely. And it might be in the pits of your belly through pain. It could be at the peak of climax in an orgasm. It could be at the height of your cadence in hilarity and laughter, right? It could be
Right.
any of these things, but to hear your voice, it could be in an argument where you are in a position where it's either your integrity or someone else's comfort. And what you gonna do?
This
And
is
so
why
I'm
you the whisperer. This is why. This is why. This is why you the whisperer. Because look what you just did. You just took us through so many different, you just hit so many different things. I remember when I first was invited to hear my voice when my partner said, "What do you want?" I was done. I was like, wait, wait. No one's ever asked me that. And because no one's ever asked me that, I've never used my voice
mm-hmm.
to express my desire
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I've been conditioned to just give.
Come on. Come on. And somebody just asked me in 2023, what do you need? Okay, what do you need? And I said, oh, I have, I think I'm good. I have everything that I need. And I have, what I need when I want it, or whatever poetic response I could come up with. And it's real. I do have everything that I need. And I have everything I want when I need it. And I want and need for nothing, literally. And that is all boast and braggadocious and all the blessings and abundance that I get to live in and experience on this side of life. But that don't mean life is not free of wrinkles and static. No, however, but when somebody asks me, this person asked me very specifically, very intentionally about me, what do I need? I was dumbfounded, if I have any other way to describe it. And when I sat with myself in that question, but not dumbfounded, stuck, but like, am I me? What do I need? And it wasn't, what do you need for the house? What do you need for the kids? What, what do you need to take care of whatever? And all those things, were in the air. However, but what do I need as a human? What do I need as the person, the woman, the sister, the daughter, the mother, Alicia? What do I need? And so what I realized is I needed to be able to identify and acknowledge and address and name the fact that I'm okay with even needing to say that I need something or I need to know what I need. And so, yeah, it sounds like it could be like I'm oscillating with words, right? But if you think about it, when I thought about it, and I still sit with it and I'm thinking about it to date, I'm still digesting and chewing as to what is it I need, not because I'm just lost out here. No, and folks would try to tell me that, and they have told me that in the last couple of weeks, right? However, and um, I'm okay with adventure time. I like to be outside. I'm good with discovery, right? And I like me. So, what I'm saying is this: what do I need is the question that was posed to me. And I've been identifying my needs. The first one was that I need to be able to say what I need out loud. And I need to be able to hear myself because the question was rhetorical for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have answered that with an itemized breakdown, and there probably would have been some, response and, support there for sure. But the offering there was for me to sit in hearing myself and what I need. And sometimes we just ain't gonna say it straight up, right?
Why
But
do you think this is? Why is it that women struggle with? And it's a trip. I'm asking you this question. Some I know, right? I know why I struggle with it. But I wonder if we even recognize as women, do you
mhm.
think that women are oblivious to the fact that we struggle with expressing or articulating that we even have a need?
No, I don't think so. I think also, wait, one more time. Ask me what you asking me. Let me make sure
Do
I'm
you
clear.
look and let me be real clear. Do you think black women are oblivious to the fact that we struggle with articulating what we need?
Hell no. No, absolutely not. However, what I do know by experience and observation in community with many Black women is that we're so self sacrificing by way of socialization that oftentimes we're okay and we're good. And we've even cultivated living and life around us, not bringing our needs to the table because our needs are often minimized, not prioritized, or either just the first thing off the table when something got to go because that's what we do, right? And there's no rhyme or reason to it. We just, okay, you know what? I got to be here instead of going to the gym. Guess what? I won't go to the gym. It's four other people in the house can drive one person to go here, but I'm ready to offer my gym time to take you because that's just what I do. But I'm learning to undo that too. So I don't think that women struggle to identify that they even have a need or even to name the need. However, I think maybe where, from my position, my opinion, and my experience is that where I have struggled is that being okay with even needing one, and then two, being able to acknowledge that I need without it
Mhm,
being a weakness or,
mhm,
or some type of perceptive, preconceived notion, somebody else's bag that I picked up, that me needing something means that I'm lacking or I'm ineffective or I'm irresponsible somewhere else, right? And I say this as a extremely responsible adult,
mhm, mhm.
as a since I've been 18. I've been very responsible for
Wow.
myself and my children. And so yeah, I know I have needs, but my needs have not been priority because I've been told in so many ways of this world that I am not a priority, whether it be education, whether it be in the medical industry, whether it be in the criminal, it's just, what am I
Mhm.
trying to say? The criminal
Criminal
system,
justice.
right, right, and
Mhm.
everywhere, and just yeah. So that's my answer there. I hope I answered that question for you.
No, and there is no right or wrong. No, that you answered that very, very clearly, very, very clearly. And I had to take note of even being okay with needing, having to give myself permission with being okay with actually having a need. I was going through some training. I've been practicing nonviolent communication.
Mhm.
Nonviolent communication. I'm gonna say it again. Nonviolent
That's
communication.
interesting. I'm
Hmm.
curious. Hmm.
Hmm. Yes, yes. I'm practicing that because once again, I'm feeling some emotions as I speak these things because there's some cleansing and purging that is taking place too in the process here for me. Now, practicing non-violent communication, I lean into a lot. So I've got nonviolent communication books and interpersonal communication, intercultural communication, and the five dysfunctions of leaderships. And I've got all of these different tools and texts and things that I read and learn to practice because communication is so key when a Black woman speaks. I am
Mm-hmm.
constantly trying to learn how to use my voice in a manner that my heart and motive and intent matches, for those that receive it. I'm trying to say that in a way that is better because, see, I can speak to some of my sisters like you and Tia and others, and there might be one that will be in the thick of that group that will not receive what's being put out in the intent and the nature in which it was put out. And we've been conditioned to not ask questions to clarify what the intent was, but to just take it at face value. But that's rooted in trauma, and I don't want to get off the path in that. However, now that I have come into my 54 years of age, I'm finding myself having to nurture so many people in their trauma responses that I'm just using all of these tools to try to just say, C spot, run. No, I no, I really just meant C spot, run. No, I wasn't calling you a dog. No, I wasn't saying you need to lose weight. No, there was nothing. I didn't. No, I just said see spot. Okay. Do you see spot? Yes. No, no hidden motive. Spots running. You, sis,
I see. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Mm-hmm.
it's so much work when a
Yeah.
Black woman speaks.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much BS and garbage and sludge and stuff that we have to tread through just to make it make sense to somebody.
Well, and I think that is because there's an expectation that we owe that Black women owe that to others, right?
Mhm.
To suffice their comfort, their comprehension, mediocrity,
Mm.
whatever. There is some there it's a I don't even want to say it's a mindset. You know, Dr. Resma Menakem, he talks about the somatic abolition of the body, white
Mhm.
bodies, black bodies, and God bodies, right? And so we talk about like trauma and how trauma shows up in our bodies and how it's carried on through generations, right? We talk about those things. And so oftentimes, like, there's generations of people that are expecting for Black women to support them, serve them, help them, do for them, and not themselves. And so I hear you with the almost like the linguistics Olympics, if you will, right? Where you have
Yes.
a lot of words playing and what we saying. This see, I see spot. Do you see spot? That's the question, right? It's not
Mhm.
about the interpretation all the times, although everybody processes different. I want to be very
Mhm.
mindful of that, right? And so
Right, right, right.
we all receive and process information is valuable for all of us. And it's a lot too. It's a lot in the services of humans. And I think that's where, for me, in the work that I do, I bring it back to the self, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
what I'm experiencing directly, and also what I'm observing, where, and I talk about this too in the work that I do at work and other spaces, but it's a lot of people engaging with each other that don't like themselves, right? And that's a deeper rooted issue where we don't
Mhm.
like ourselves and we're not accepting of self. And so therefore then we find ourselves in these scenarios where we're expecting for other people to help us feel good about us on the inside. And when we're
Mhm.
not getting that external validation or that approval or that praise or whatever it might need to be sometimes, and it's okay, validation is good, don't get me wrong, I need it.
Mhm.
I appreciate reassurance. I got questions. I need clarity.
Mhm.
Give me concise, and also to let me flow and figure it out all at the same
Right,
time, right?
right, right.
But I think it's important too that in what we in the expectation that we have for Black women to always be subservient or giving is that people want us to do more for them than they doing for themselves. And that's where it's a disservice. And that's where we as women, Black women in particular, women at large, but to this
Mhm.
conversation, Black women,
Mhm.
when we hear our voice, that's where it's essential, because when we hear it, you can never unhear it. I can never unhear some of the
Right.
octaves that I've heard in my voice just in 2023. I'm not even going to take you too far, just in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
experienced things, right? Some tones, some cadence, some levels that I've never experienced in my entire being. But when I heard myself, I'll never keep her quiet ever again, because she's worthy. I'm worthy. And her voice is valuable, it's valuing, like perpetually, it's growing, it's continuous, it's thriving, it's green. You know what I'm saying? It's growing. It's not like at a destination I heard myself and that's it. No, I'm still talking. And I'm enjoying myself. And some people asking me to not talk so much, right? And this is one thing I want to say too, is that when we hear ourselves, it's important that we listen too. We listen to
Yeah.
ourselves. We listen to ourselves.
There is oh, let me go back. There is a quote that I put up, a queen status that I put up. I found it, and so um, I'm just gonna put it in a note so that I can just go ahead and drop it and share it. But it says this, and this was profound to me. Your healing is your responsibility. It is not the responsibility of your employer, your partner, your spouse, or your loved ones. If you are not healed the way you need to be, what are you willing to do about it?
Mhm.
So when you were sharing, when you were just talking, I realized that we often do want others to do the work for us.
Mhm.
That we aren't willing. Like, and as Black women, I noticed that we do that a lot too. That we actually often I see Black women, and I'm talking about Black women that are doing the work. Like they doing
Right.
the damn thing, right? And then I want to pull on you. So I'm not willing to sit in my own stillness and hear it's a still small voice in myself. So I'm gonna call Alicia so she can whisper to me. Now I'm not saying because I'm gonna call you, sis. Me, I ain't gonna lie.
Call
Y'all,
me.
I'm gonna call my sister.
Call
But if
me.
I call my sister, she already knows that I have sat with myself.
Mhm.
So I'm not making a demand on her because I just haven't been willing to put in the work myself.
Mhm.
I'm calling her as a midwife.
Mm. Touché.
There's a difference.
Mhm.
There is a difference. So when a Black woman speaks, so you said that the win, that means that there is going to come a point, and you can't unring that bell. Once you do hear your voice, you hear it. What's the
Yes.
significance in it being a Black woman?
How do you mean?
Well, white women speak,
Mhm.
Latino women speak, Asian women speak,
Mhm.
other women speak.
Mhm.
What's so significant about it? Why is there so much clapback when a Black woman speaks?
Because there is a global concert that's been going on for a long time, and it's still in play right now. And folks is buying tickets around the world to disrespect the Black woman above anybody else. Not only the Black woman in her imagery, knowing that all human life comes from a Black woman, right? Go where you want to go with that, lay where you want to lay with that. But it's history, there's some data, there's some researchers, there's a lot of information out here. But I think it's so much clapback and pushback is because it's so collectively orchestrated to keep us on our backs.
Hmm.
And so to see a Black woman on her feet, maybe even on her knees, maybe even
My
on
God.
all fours, You see what I'm saying? That's the offense oftentimes. And let alone see a sister on her feet, dressed, feeling good, confident, healthy. I don't care what she looked like on the outside, but it's an energy when a woman is right with herself, right?
Yeah,
And just
that
like
is.
when it's not well, and it's not about judging who is off or who is on, because there's a lot of gray and blur in between that. We all live in these
Yeah, yeah.
waves, ocean, right? But I think it's a global clapback because of the power we possess within, and folks need us not to know who we are. And the longer we don't know, the more they get to play with
Mm,
us, play about us, play behind us. And so yeah, I think that's a big part of the clapback because people feel like I shouldn't speak. It's just that simple. People feel like I should not say certain things that go against either their ideology, go against their positionality, go against their, I don't know, whatever else is going on within their own system. And I have a lot of words I can describe here, but I'm just going to leave it there, right? People will find themselves, I have experienced as of lately quite a bit, actually, from
mhm,
people up close and personal to me, um, upset because I'm not listening. And I receive it because I'm receiving this message from a lot of people. I'm not listening. And I receive it to this extent. I've done a lot of work with myself in these last few years, a long time actually. And I'm
mhm.
quiet. I'm not loud. I stay out the way. I mind my business like I like to do. Okay. And so I've been working my work. I've been minding my business and I've been evolving. I've been healing and I've been investing in my core being like I invest in other people. And so what I've learned recently is that this love, this myrrh that I offer to life and living things and people, I need that too. So I've been offering it to myself. And so in doing so, that means I've been listening to myself more also. I've been hearing
Mm,
my intuition, and also in my hearing and my listening, the honoring of her has been crucial, has been essential, has been vital. And so in honoring her and listening to my voice, I've had to quiet some of the other voices I've been listening to for a long ass time. And excuse my language, but I also believe in linguistic justice, honey. And as much as I love words and I have a whole lot in my Rolodex, my mental Rolodex, profanity is a friend of mine. Okay. And I just want to lay that and I'm okay with it. And so I said all that to say that honoring my voice has been the power in my pivot. And so
mm,
I'm a
mm,
listener in my heart and soul. And I listen to souls before folks even open their mouth and speak to me.
mhm,
And more than I want to sometimes, but that's okay. I'm all
mm,
right.
mm,
I got my memo. I understand my mission. And so saying that people are upset with me because they're uncomfortable with me not prioritizing their need for me to listen to them over me hearing myself and listening to me and saying, you know what? I hear what you're saying. And that ain't what I'm doing. That's not where I'm at. Or that's not for
mm.
me. Or just okay. Or whatever it might be. So, and I'm probably going around and around and not saying a whole lot. But I think what I'm trying to say here and all is that when I heard myself,
Mhm.
I really leaned into another level of loving myself.
Okay.
We talk about loving self and self-care and self-love and self compassion and self-grace. There's also this thing where I think we've talked about before in self-advocacy, right?
Yes,
And if I'm not
yes.
willing to advocate for myself and my own voice with me, right? Because
Right,
now we get to a whole nother level of my process and my
right,
journey as
right,
a
right,
Black
right.
heard myself. I heard when the person asked me, what do you need? The one thing I heard loud and clear is I need to keep my word with me about me. I'm just going to
Say that
stay
again. I need to
there. Mhm.
what?
I need to keep my word with me about me.
Hold on. Mm-mm. You know,
Mhm.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
something you're going
Wait.
to chew on. I want y'all to sit with that, write it
Oh,
down,
And I'm
To
fixing to
know
write it down. Keep
that's a thing. That's a thing. And when I
my
look at
word.
that
Say
statement
it
itself,
again.
that question, what do I need, took me there. You hear? And I'm here. I'm here and I'm still learning and acknowledging and recognizing where I need to keep my word to me about me, real time in real life, and stop playing with me about me. Because I see where I'm letting people have access to me in certain ways and I'm giving them room to
You is
play.
not fixing to have me just toe up. Oh
I'm
my
trying to
God.
say. I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say. Listen, I told myself in November I was gonna live outside out loud. And so I didn't realize I was gonna get invitations like this to speak out loud. And I told
Yes.
myself in that same promise, I made myself a promise that when people ask me how I'm doing, I was going to show up in my truth, whether they was ready for it or not. And this, because I can't even say that like passes, but this is where I see how much people are willing to listen to me and hear my voice. As much as I've been listening to people, and it's like every vein of my relationships in my life, right? I'm a listener. I've been cultivated, I've been cultured to listen and to observe and watch in survival. Make sure people is good, check at everybody else, help everybody else regulate their system. And then I go away and regulate by myself somewhere. And who checking for me? Who checking for me? And I got people check for me for sure, right? And it's layers, it's levels to it too. And so I'm learning to check for myself here. And I heard that I needed that when I heard myself. So when the question is posed, when a Black woman hears herself, what's the significance? Baby, so much was unlocked. So much was unearthed. So much was introduced. So much was like, nah, I'm cool. Not again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here and I'm riding this wave of learning my voice and learning to listen to myself
I
and being
felt
okay with it. Huh?
I felt LaDonna Lee. When you said keep my word to me about me, I felt LaDonna Lee. I felt her. I felt
Mm-hmm.
her wherever she was. I
Mm-hmm.
felt it. Sis, I feel you. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm stuck right there. I haven't been able to move. You're speaking, and I'm trying to attend to what you're saying. And I'm also trying not to weep for myself because of how often I have failed to keep my word
Mm-hmm.
to me about me.
Mm. And I'm going to invite you just to flow like the water you is, because you just came from the continent, off the ocean, the coast. And
Woo,
I just came back not too long ago. And so it's a it's a rhythm.
it
It's a
is.
rhythm. And it's a
We
new
have,
rhythm for me.
we
It's a
have, we,
yes.
we
Mm-hmm.
have failed ourselves. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that someone else has failed me, but when
Mm-hmm.
I find me, when I get to know who she is, this wonderful, beautiful Black queen that has lived through all of these things, these trials and tumultuous times and survived them. When I realized that I'm not a victim, that I'm not a doormat, that I'm not just a piece of meat, that I'm not what's between my legs, that I am intelligent, that I have value, that I have worth, that oh my God, I am not my hair. All this stuff that
Come
these
on.
queens have been saying to us and speaking to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God. When I heard my voice, when I found that I had a voice, the fact that this is what I realized, and I promise you, Spirit told me this before I came home because I apologized to myself for lowering my bar. And Spirit said, no, you put it down.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just lower it, you put it down.
Come on.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Acknowledge that you put it down. You see where you left it.
Mm-hmm.
Now go pick it back up, reset,
Come on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and walk in
Mm-hmm.
who it is that you are. That's me keeping my word to me
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah. Yeah.
all you did was just remind me that God
Yeah.
has spoke to me about me.
Yes. 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 Let this be a reminder. God is not playing with you. Either are your ancestors. And why should you? Why should you play about you? And that's a question for me that I've been asking myself. And I am not playing about me no more. And I'm 45 and I'm okay with it because it ain't never too late to arrive to where you
Mm,
want to be in life and your preferred self. Because we all have a choice. We all have a choice to choose how we show up on this side of life, right? And so one thing I'll add um, to me being keeping my word to me about
mhm,
me is
mhm.
also I'm hella mindful how I put my mouth on me too. You understand what I'm saying? And that's something you'll hear me say this to anybody, everybody, where be mindful how you put your mouth on you. Because we hear, we could speak life, speak truth to life, be careful, affirm yourself, all these things. But sometimes you just got to make the shit plain. Be mindful how you put your mouth on you, even when you don't even think you putting your mouth on you, right? Because the universe don't know the difference between you playing, being mad, being pissy on your period, upset, he angry, you angry. The money didn't come, the money is there. It's energy. And the energy we put out by way of our mouthpiece come for us first. You can call it karma, you could call it whatever, retrofit, whatever you want to call it, but it's all out here for us. So
Mm,
be mindful how you put your mouth on you at all times. Because that
mm,
self-advocacy starts within. And that's what I'm learning. That's where I'm at right here. And that's why it's so important when a Black woman speaks,
mm,
because the power is far reaching. And we talked about it before, it's a vibration. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to be in direct proximity to feel the effects
mm,
of when a Black woman speaks, whether it's on a public forum, quiet in a
mm,
shower, in the back of
mm,
your ear, in a prayer room,
mm.
whatever. I mean, think about how many of our grandmothers' prayers we're hanging on still. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about that. I think about, you hear that too, especially in church. I'm hanging on by the thread of my grandmother's prayers.
Yes,
You hear that.
yes.
And although I'm not a religious person, I did do church for a long time. I wasn't raised in the church or religion. And so I appreciate
Mhm,
what my parents instilled in by way of relationship, right?
mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah, when a Black woman speaks, she hears herself and she also opens the mic for other women to hear themselves too. That's what's dope when a Black woman speaks, in my opinion, is that she opens the airwaves for other women to hear themselves and to be liberated in her voice. And it's just like a domino effect.
Mm,
And so for me right now, it's like, how dare I not speak? And there's also too in the profession of caregiving and healing and helping, right? Servicing,
mm,
um, the acronym WAIT. Why am I talking?
mm.
Why am I talking right now? Why am I saying what I'm saying? So that's something I'm balancing at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a constant assessment, constant.
Woo! Oh my goodness.
Because anybody who
Oh,
know me know I got questions. I got questions on tap. I mean, I just come with questions. I'm like, where these questions even come from? You ain't even been yet. It's not that I'm anxious to reply because I'm really genuinely listening. And I know
yes.
sometimes people I'm listening, but I'm sharp. I'm keen. And that is
Mhm.
a gift. And sometimes I'm processing before you're processing because that's what's going on in the spirit. And that's okay
Yes,
though. And I'm at a
yes,
point in my life here where I've done the work and I'm still doing the work and I'm in my work.
yes.
And I've laid some foundation for myself. And I'm also in a place where I'm coming up from my rest and I'm allowing myself to expand. And so in that expansion, I'm also feeling the stretch of growth as well. And so I'm also in a place where I like cold water out of a glass with glass straws. And so I'm not in a
Yeah,
position
yeah,
nor am
yeah.
I to minimize myself, dilute myself. And I think I've shared this with you before. I'm not interested in, shift shaping myself for people. And if I need to, so you can be comfortable, folks can choke, and or I got water for you with glass straws and ice if you want it. But that's a choice. Okay, it's a
Right.
choice. And for me, I don't feel like I need to explain my process with people, right? In my
Mhm.
expansion, in my evolution. It's mine. In
You
my
know, you
evolution,
dropping so much is ridiculous, right? I hope y'all taking notes because she dropping. I'm taking notes, sis.
yay. Well, y'all getting it
I
fresh because I had a busy day today, and honey, I've been listening all day. And like I said, I've been on this thing where I've been expecting the unexpected, and I got flowers today from at work, unexpected from a sister who I helped birth one of her children in March. Just an
mm,
amazing. I got to see the baby for the first time. And when I tell you, sometimes Black women, we be just doing things, and sometimes we don't get the opportunity to stop and catch a beat and take a breath and just be in all that we is in our Blackness. When I tell you, I was in a meeting at work planning for Black student success, just what we do. And someone knocks at the door, somebody's here to see you. And it's my friend, my sister friend, with the little human that was just in her body just a few months ago. That I got to help her bring out. And that was in March. That's only 3 months ago. And I'm already in June. I'm not so far removed from that moment because it was a moment in time in my soul for me
yeah.
to experience that life coming to into the world like that. However, and it also, when I went back into the meeting, I sat there with myself as I'm now in this meeting back again. I was like, you know what, girl, breathe here for a minute. You just
Mm,
got to witness life that you were a part of bringing into the world. Even though y'all was where you was at and you weren't the only one, but you were present. And I had powerful moments with that baby for her first 2 hours. You hear what I'm saying to you? And so it was in that moment I was like, girl, breathe. You got space. Take up the
mhm.
space that you
Yes, yes.
appreciate yourself and give thanks and gratitude for what you do and how you showing up in the space. And this again, Sister Tony, is why it's important when the Black woman speaks, because sometimes she got to remind herself who the fuck she is,
That part.
who she ain't. You know what I'm
That part.
saying? That's important. That's important. And so today I had a moment where I had to remind myself who the fuck I am,
Every
who I am,
every
who I ain't.
who every day since I have been home, the first thing I realized is so there was some things that I was that I was releasing prior to my trip, my prior to going home,
Mm-hmm.
that that I did go home and that I felt home, that I felt like I belonged, that I felt like no matter what shade I was of blackness, I belong.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
that no matter how heavy I was, that the joy that I experienced wasn't manufactured. It wasn't it wasn't something that was rote, mechanical. That when they praised, that praise wasn't just something that was limited to the four walls of a building,
Come on.
that they called
Come on.
church. They praised in their dance, that they were praising in the airport, that they were praising wherever. I mean, to be escorted and welcomed home in the manner in which we were, and to be hosted and not treated as tourists, and but to be treated as family. um, oh man, it was beyond a blessing. And I had a pang of grief when I knew that it was time to go, but I didn't want to sit in that for too long, sis, right? Because it would take away from my time home with
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
family. I didn't have to compete. I didn't have to contend, right? Kings was
Mhm.
treating me like the queen that I was. I mean, and so I was just being respected left and right. It didn't matter. I wasn't looking at another woman and comparing myself to
Come
her
on.
because I'm unique and fearfully and wonderfully made, and so are you. And it was annoying. Oh man, I'm feeling that thing. I promise you. It was different. It was
Yeah.
different. And so I'm
Mhm.
saying all of this to say that I was intentional, that what my word to myself
Mhm.
about myself is that what I was not going to do after going home was come home and pick up the same mess. I was not going to, after going home, come home and not
Mhm.
be home. Because
Mhm.
that's what they told us. They was like, oh no, no, don't grieve that you're leaving because you're always in a state of coming home or going home or being home.
Come on. There you is. Mhm.
You're always home. And then spirit helped me by letting me know. And if you get homesick, you just push play, and there's you just one song away from home. And so I've got a playlist because I can just push play, sis. And when I push play, I just go home. And so I find myself now ceasing to look at individuals that I was looking at, feeling like I don't belong because I don't look like. And at that I was like, oh no, 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 gone is that. I can't even. Now when I speak, I'm just wanting to speak what is truth. I just want to, and I don't want to have to censor anything.
Don't.
I just want to speak what is truth. I just want to speak what is truth in as much love as I can find. And if there isn't love that is
Yeah.
flowing, then I'm just going to sit in silence, and allow silence to speak, because silence speaks
Yes.
as
It does. It does. You just shared a whole lot, and I'm just smiling and showing all my teeth right here because I appreciate you sharing a little bit of your experience, and you still so fresh that I know it's still just like, oh, you just, I mean, and I will say this because when I prepared to go to Ghana in September recently, there was a lot going on in my American mind about traveling home, especially knowing I was chosen by my ancestors to be the one to take them home here, and I got to go home. I got to be the one. So the power that you're describing about going home and being home and returning home and knowing that no matter where you at, all of Africa is with you, because when you go home, you're not a guest. You're not even company. You're not even a tourist.
well.
You know what I mean? You're a native. It's just like when white folks go home, go to Europe. They go to Switzerland, they go to the Netherlands, they go wherever they go, and it's white. It's not melanated, right? For the most part. That's what it feels like when we out here in California, right? Where everybody's white and everybody looks the same. Oh, this is what it feels like when you see 2 or 3 white folks in Africa. What you doing here? Why are you here? Who signed for you to come? Right? And I had that energy quick. And that was super American, I know, territorial, ready. And it was very real in the setting I was in, right? So we went on an educational summit. It was dope. It was like 600 folks all over the world that came, 300 of us California Black educators, and it was amazing. And I said that to say that even in the journey as it was for educational summit, bridging the gap between California education and the University of Cape Coast,
Mhm, mhm.
but the rhythm of the people when I
Yeah.
landed, before I even left the airport, before I could even get my bags good, I still had to check out to get my bag, check out with my bag, right? The greetings, Aquaba sister, welcome home, the gentleness, the teeth that I saw. You hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
In the
Oh my
eyes,
God.
people
Wait,
were
wait, wait,
smiling
wait, wait,
freely.
wait. I need you to know. So I don't smile with my teeth because when I didn't have dental insurance, they had to pull some of my teeth, right? And I started
Good.
to hide my smile. And
Mhm.
I promise you, I I found I found my smile, my laugh, my joy. Like these are tears of joy. Like I feel like I just came alive.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I'll add this. We'll probably get into this in the in person, but when a Black woman smiles,
Ah!
okay? Can we speak to that? When a Black woman smiles genuinely, without inhibition, without hesitation, without condition, because you're genuinely present with yourself in the moment
Yes.
of joy, enjoy your joy, sister. And since you've been home and now that you're home, stop fighting them tears. Let that water flow. You've been you've been touched the Cape Coast. You've been touched the coast of wherever you was at. And where was you at in Africa? Matter of fact, South Africa.
Uh-huh. I done went to Cape, yes, and I was
Yes.
at Cape Town, Cape Point. I was standing where the Indian Ocean met the
I
Atlantic.
saw
Yes,
you. I saw you. I saw you out there. Let me say this to you. Let
yes.
me say this to you, Queen. As you are home, from home, within yourself as your home, flow. Let that
Mm.
water flow. Be the
Ah,
water. Let it roll. Let it tide. Let it settle. Let it just current, whatever it needs to be. Let it flow. Because this is you. This is where you at here. This is a part of your process too. I just left Yosemite yesterday, and I had a
mm.
whole moment under the
Woo!
waterfall, not even under the waterfall, but on the rock, watching the
Mm.
waterfall from, I can't tell you how high that mountain was, but the amazement to be able to sit in
My God.
the depths of the earth, right?
Yes.
And be present and to feel the water of where your ancestors were taken away. You know what I'm saying? And never returned.
Yeah.
And you, out of all the seeds of your ancestors, you You got to go on home, touch the sand, dance with the people, eat what they eat, listen to what they listen to, hug them, touch them, play with the goats, eat the plantains every way they serve them, all the jollof. I'm sure you probably had everything you could think of, and
I
because
did.
Africans we do everything. And you know what's good about what you're experiencing right now is freedom,
Mm.
girl. That's freedom. You went home to Africa and everybody was free. Come on. That's a whole different energy. That's a whole different life experience. To be Black, to be of the diaspora, and go
Mm.
where melanated folks is free in abundance. Ah,
Even in the midst of oppression,
absolutely.
even in the midst
Absolutely.
in the midst of colonized oppression and capitalism, to still have joy, to have the wherewithal to say, if I'm going to dance, I'm going to give it all that I've got. If I'm going to weep, I'm going to mourn and wail and travail. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it with everything I got. To hear our elders, hear the stories of our elders, when a Black woman speaks. I one of the tribes was sharing with us that they would secretly speak their native tongue in the kitchen while they were cooking for for they were maids for the masters or whoever it was, the colonizers, because that's, so well, you know what, I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but I came home with the word colonizer, y'all. So
Colonizer,
uh,
hurt their feelings. Hello? Colonizer. Not today, colonizer. I'll say it. Colonizer. Global colonizers. Oppressor is light. That's
woo!
sanitized.
Oh,
Yeah, colonizers. Mm-hmm.
but they
That's
would they she one of the women said, one of the elders said that while they were cooking in the kitchen,
mm-hmm.
that I would whisper and I would speak in my native tongue so that I did not lose my language, so that I would remember how to speak it, so that I could feel what it felt like to speak my tongue, my
Mm-hmm.
native tongue. because they told them that it was vulgar, that it was disgusting, that it sounded stupid. That's what they said. But they
Mhm.
found beauty and just, and so it was my tongue.
Mhm.
And so they practice it in secret when a
Mhm.
black woman speaks. Oh,
Mhm. Mhm. And it's a rhythm. It's a
mm,
rhythm in the voice of a black woman. And you
yeah.
can catch it any way you want to. Any genre of rhythm you can think of. When a
Mm,
black woman speaks, it's a rhythm. And like the sister said, the elder said, the vibration. They say that if you hum, just humming, there's healing in the hum because it's
mm,
ancestral lineage in your humming. Because we couldn't speak. There was a time where we were lynched and everything unheard of when we did speak out loud, out of turn to somebody before we were spoken to or whatever. And so I was even raised by the cloth of because I said so, what I
yes.
say. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So for me, I've always been curious. I think as a young girl, I always remember asking questions. My uncles and my dad used to call me Nosetta, right? You just nosy. But I was super curious. I wanted to know, and I was, hungry for information. I've always been a life learner like that. Now that I know better now, right? And so I think too, it's important for Black women to speak because we're often told not to, just as plain as day. Just
Yes.
because we told not to, I think that's why women should speak. Black women should speak up.
Mm,
Got something to say. Everybody has something to say, right? We all do. And so it's not about equality all the time. It's about equity, right? Who has what to say and why? And who needs to say what here? How can we step forward at times and lean into the conversation and be heard? And then there's times where, where can I step back? Wait, why am I talking here? And I think that's the dance of when Black women hear their voices. Um, like I said,
mm,
because it's a rhythm, and everything we do is in rhythm. And I know you
yeah.
know this. We just got back from Africa. It's not manufactured. It's not facilitated. It's not on program. It's not the month. No, this is what we do.
Right.
I was blessed to witness a homegoing celebration
Mm,
in a village. And when I tell you that was amazing to see
wow.
the entire village carrying this coffin with this body that they're honoring in pure celebration, glorifying God on high throughout the entire community, everybody singing and dancing. Mourning was in the joy. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
And so everything we do from the diaspora, and we do everything. I don't care what they tell us across the globe. I don't care who's gentrified, stolen, taken, remanufactured, whatever, but Africans do everything. We do it well,
Yes.
very well. And so
Yes.
I'm honored to be of the diaspora. I'm honored to be a Black woman. I'm honored to hearing my own voice more and more every day. I'm honored when I get to sit and hear other people's voices. And I'm also honoring the space too where I'm not received by others. I think that's
Mm,
why it's significant when a Black woman speaks is also being okay when your voice isn't received.
okay. Say more.
It doesn't dilute the voice any more, any less, right?
Mm,
It doesn't matter where it lands as much as it mattering how much you're willing to speak, right? And so that doesn't mean just go and say everything and just cut throats and don't be
yeah.
responsible for how you no. Be
Yeah.
mindful how you put your mouth on you and others, and also to be mindful that your voice is life carrying
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
many ways. And so um, it's okay if everybody don't want to carry life with you. That's something I'm learning here too, right? As I'm learning my voice and I'm hearing myself, that everybody don't want to hear what I got to say, and I'm cool. Well, you
Mm,
ain't got to hear because it's optional. This is not a obligatory situation here. We are all free to choose, and so that hurts though. It hurts
mm,
how easy or how disconnected or disjointed you are, or I am from people when I'm thinking or thought that we were closer than what we were. But because I'm not listening in the capacity that you think I should be listening or you want to be heard in,
Mhm.
that I'm not worthy of the relationship. And so that's okay, because I got
Yeah.
to be okay with that.
I appreciate you saying that it hurts. And the reason why I appreciate that is because we often don't acknowledge that. Um, I was on a bus. I was on my way to one of the townships, and it was one of the largest townships that is the second largest township in Africa, the largest one in Cape Town. And so as we were pulling in, no running water, all of the shanties, and the and stuff, and so it's appalling. Just for me, in my American eyes, it was
Mhm,
appalling to see. And
mhm,
I wasn't looking upon what my people and how they're living it as shameful. I felt a righteous indignation. I was absolutely appalled at a government system that sustains that created that. And so, but I began to weep,
mhm,
and I just felt heavy, and the tears were just pouring, and I couldn't stop. Where I'm going somewhere with that, the hurt, the pain, the words, and so I didn't want to, as a guest, right, come into your home. We're going into the township, and here I am crying, right, and I didn't
mhm,
want to go in there crying with my American self, thinking, I'm feeling sorry for no. So Tony, get yourself together. What's the problem? And so I was wrestling with that, and our host, who is from South Africa, came in. He and I know it was Holy Spirit. He came and sat next to me, got my hand, held my hand, and he said, "Sis," he said, "what are you feeling?" And
mhm,
I wept, and I said, "I'm just so heavy." I said, "I'm so angry. I am so angry, and I am just so hurt at the level of oppression." And so, I expressed that. I
mhm,
said, and I'm also weeping. I'm also because I am disappointed in myself for feeling this way, because I don't want to feel like this as guests, right, or what have you. And he
mhm,
said, he said, "I'm going to ask if you would do something for me."
mhm,
He said, "Will you not wrestle with spirit? Let yourself go with spirit.
mhm, mhm,
Whatever you're feeling, let yourself just go with spirit."
mhm,
So I sat in the hurt. I wept. I let the tears flow. I sat in it. I was wrestling a little, but I sat in it. I didn't try to fix it. I didn't try to clean it up. And within 2 minutes, kids were chasing the bus, and we started hearing all of this singing,
mhm.
because the township, they were celebrating, and they had been celebrating because we were coming, and so now we're here, and so they're
Yes.
dancing and celebrating. And I got off the bus crying tears of sorrow and anger, and I still was crying, but then started crying and laughing at the same time. um, I experienced that the majority of the trip.
Right. And I'll say that even in my experience in Ghana, I experience a range of emotions at any given time. And what I want to offer you here, Tony, is that remember you brought your ancestors home. So you weren't alone. You're carrying your people with you. And so while you're there, and you might be thinking with your American mindset, oh, I'm feeling the sorrow and these different things. There's no doubt very true, but also at the same time, the the ancestors that you're carrying with you, what are they seeing? Who's in the seat? Why are they weeping? What is the weight on their heart, right? And so that's something to consider also as you're
Mhm.
processing now that you're home from home in your
I had
home.
I had not, and I've heard you say it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that is something too, that when we have our in-person conversation, that maybe we need to lean into that more. Who is
Mm-hmm.
showing up with me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who am I carrying? Who is in this space with me? Because I did feel very honored that
Mm-hmm.
that I got to be in that space.
Mm-hmm.
who was with me?
Mm-hmm.
Who was with me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you honored so many by going bravely as you did.
Mm.
And you know,
And
you again, you fresh home. You fresh
as you,
home.
mhm.
Yes, I did. Yes, and I am still percolating in my experiences in Ghana and Cape Coast and on the continent. I'm gonna be honest with you, just getting to Belgium where my connecting flight was from New York in Belgium, and everybody was melanated. The entire airplane. And I'm saying it was like I've never been in an airplane this big, but it was like four aisles. It was huge,
Mhm.
right? I mean, I've been in international flights, but I've never been on a flight that big, and everybody was black. I think it might have been like maybe 15 non-Africans on there, non-black
Mhm.
Africans of the diaspora. So that was an
Wow.
amazing experience just to be. Now, keep in mind, in our layover in Belgium, Belgium wasn't playing. They had us barricaded in one little area. All these Africans going to Africa. They kept us in our space. They was like, you ain't look, you got this one little snack shop here. You want to go out, you got to go through the whole process. So, but when we
Woo!
got baby, it was all of us, and when we landed, it was all of us some more and some. And so that was an amazing experience. That in itself, not even talking about anything of me getting there, right? So I get it. There's so many layers to sit with and to
So
allow.
when will you go back? How when are you going back?
You know, I'm going back. It's already June. So I'll
Mm.
say 2024. I'll go back to Africa in 2024. Yeah. If I want to be realistic about it. Because if I was going to say, I'll say probably October of 2023. But I will say October 2023, anything can happen because I'm expecting the unexpected. That's just what it is, right? 23 of October. And for the people in the space who know, the 8th of October is a very, very amazing time to go anywhere, I would imagine. So, but I would say 2024 is when I'll be planning to be in Africa.
Yes, I
Yes,
feel that right there.
yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
I
We
feel
love
that.
goes to Africa. Yes, yes,
Woo!
yes,
But before
yes.
we go to Africa, baby, let me let y'all know what I just found. I went to Bernie Falls. I went to Bernie Falls
Mhm.
Saturday.
Okay.
Um, and so I was going to take my friends. Needed some folks needed to tap out, and I was going to take them for a drive through the redwoods and along the coast.
Mhm.
But then I was like, you know what? No, you need to see a waterfall. So we went to Bernie Falls. Tia, Alicia, LaDonna
Mhm.
Lee, let me tell you, not only is there a waterfall at Bernie Falls, but it's a whole campground and there's a whole lake where we can have
Mhm.
all kind of water play.
Yes.
You can literally like rent kayaks and boats and stuff. And I was like, oh, I can't wait.
Mhm.
I can't wait for us to go and
That's
spend the
so
whole
fun.
day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because everything was snowed the last time we went. It was the campground. We saw the campground, but everything was snowed in or snowy,
I
I should
didn't see the
say.
campground at all. I didn't even go. Like we went in, and we saw a little bit of the campground. But do you know that once you come in, that you drive up further in, like a mile and a half in?
I did not know that. Mm.
Oh yeah, I didn't
That,
either, and I'd have been so yes. And then Tia, I'm with you. Yes, Be Love Holistic. We sure do. We need to go ahead and go to Africa.
hmm
We just need to just do it. Just stop
I
playing.
just I just got my passport, my renewal passport, last week, so I'm ready, ready,
Uh,
ready for 10 years.
okay.
Okay, ready, baby.
Okay, well, mine's is good until 27. And oh, and I got a couple of stamps because I done traveled all these different places, so I'm excited. I got three stamps now on my little thing. But
Okay.
sis, oh, I love you. I appreciate you. This has been good for me.
Likewise, it's always good we connect. It's always real. I appreciate from the first sister circle we was at in the backyard of Tia's house at that bonfire. Yes,
Yes.
to date. I love you and I appreciate you. And I'm grateful to be in this space with you. Like I said, this is my first time and I appreciate doing it with you. So thank you.
and it was different. I just wanted to just be led and just have real. You are such an intelligent woman. I mean,
Thank you.
and I mean, I'm saying it just from my lens, right? Just from observing or what have you. And I know that you're deep and intellectual and all of that. Um, However, look, you say but and all of that, and I usually say however or and or both and so that's so funny. When I hear you say it, I'm like, Tony, you do that all the time.
Mhm. Yeah.
uh, so I'm saying this. I know that you know this. However, when a black woman speaks, knowing now, I'm going to walk heavy in the authority of the words, then the power of those words, sis.
Mm-hmm.
You
Absolutely.
are an exceptionally brilliant woman.
Thank you. Thank you. I received that. Thank you for saying so. And I believe you. And
Hmm.
I say that with confidence and humility. Because there was a
Hmm.
time I'd be questioning, like, do you really mean it? But I believe you and I'm grateful. So thank you for saying that out loud. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you.
You
And,
are.
this too, you said something earlier about, I think maybe one of your processes, you just had to put it all down. What were you talking about? You put something down. What was it?
My bar,
Your
my back.
bar. It was your bar. And before you talked about putting the bar down, what was in my spirit was a part of my process is Erica Badu's Bag Lady, right? That song. And I think we've talked about this before too. And when a black woman speaks, she makes room to put bags down and let things go. And I think that's what's liberating about when a black woman speaks is that she moves things around. You know what I'm saying? In her heart, in her chest, in her lungs, in her
Yeah,
arm. Before you know
yeah,
it, her hips are swaying, her legs
yeah,
are moving. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Her hands might be doing something different. The creativity becomes fluent when a
yeah,
black woman speaks and hears her own voice and allows her voice to be liberated through listening to herself.
yeah,
And that's love and grace.
yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I see that um, as things are moving and aligning and shifting. The power of our words, and there's so much power and authority in our
Mm-hmm.
words. We have the power of life, speaking life. I just told my sister that, one of my
Mm-hmm.
beloved sisters, that the other day. Look, and he said, I'm fresh off the boat. Yeah. And she said something that was not good about herself. And I was like, I'm sorry, are you saying that my friend is XY? So I was like, yeah, you might not want to be spending any quality time with me right now because I'm not even going to have it. I just can't even fathom it, right? We are held accountable for every idle word that proceeded from our mouth. If
We
you were
are.
created in his image and likeness, if he crafted and shaped and formed you in the seclusion of your mother's womb, if he stepped back, looked at you and said, ooh, and that is good. If he, like, I'm serious, like engrafted you into his royal family and royal priesthood and did all of these things to ensure, that you were even here, shape, form, blow into your lungs so that you could, and we don't speak life over ourselves. So, sis,
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. I don't even know. I'm done. And
Mm-hmm.
behold, she is a new creation, or she just woke up. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Something,
Mm-hmm.
something different. So what I am hoping and praying for going forward is contagious. Whatever I call, I want you to catch it.
Mm-hmm. And
Yep.
that's the thing. And that's good. That's it. I tell people often, we hang around long enough, you're gonna fuck around and believe in yourself. Messing with me, rocking with me. Okay, that's the reality. And like I said, cuss words are a friend to me. Okay, I dance with
Girl,
but that's it's the
I ain't even got a problem with it.
reality. We hang out, we gonna rock, you gonna mess around, start liking yourself quite a bit.
That part
I mean,
right there.
I think that's important. I think that's important that we encourage and invoke that in each other as people in relationships, regardless of what the status or the labeling of the relationship is. But and also too, in when a black woman hears her voice, when women hear their voices, it also invites intimacy, right? Intimacy with self, intimacy with others, platonic intimacy, romantic intimacy, whatever the spiritual intimacy, whatever the layers of intimacy may be. But it also invites a level of intimacy that can introduce us to just another layer of who we are and who we choose to be, whether it be deeper or higher, whatever the call may be for self, right? Um, but yeah, this has been dope. This has been
Yes, it
fresh.
has.
Thank you.
So we're gonna wrap up, y'all. And we want to invite you to tap in with us on the 17th of this month for a mimosa brunch at the
Yeah,
Brick House in Sacramento. We are going to have an in-person anti-Black conversation, and the theme of it is when a Black woman speaks. The colors is purple and gold. We coming royal. I'm wearing my
yeah.
purple. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm so
Okay. Okay. Purple T's.
we're gonna
I
have
don't
panel
know.
discussions, breakout sessions, and workshops. But what we are going to, if for nothing else, what we are going to do is we're going to speak.
Yes. And I'll add too, we're gonna speak love and life and liberation, all the L's. Love, life, and liberation for the Black woman in this space, for everybody who's in the space. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yes. So we will see you on the 17th.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much for having me again. And may
Oh,
every life you touch, everything you experience be expanded and expand you from within, Sister Tony. And may you just continue to thrive in health and healing and wealth and the glory of your being and your God that you serve. Because God is beautiful. And the way God shows up in you, honey, is a sight to see. So thank you.
I love you.
I'm
Thank you
so
so
serious.
much.
And let me say this too. Keep smiling and showing all your teeth, okay? Bless the people like we did in Africa. Show us all them teeth. Please. Look, to be 45 and have all my teeth in my mouth, dental plan or not, it is an honor. It is an honor. And I mean that with respect because I'm okay with honoring myself. I've worked a long time to keep all my teeth in my mouth. And so, dental plan and all. Smile, girl. With your
Yes,
teeth,
ma'am.
girl.
Look,
Yeah,
look, look.
see? Okay. Because you know what? I'm gonna be transparent for just a quick second. I got my first gold tooth. I'm gonna let y'all go on that note. That was too much information. I'll see y'all on the 17th. Be
This
well.
is a see you soon. Peace and blessings.
Yes. Need some power.